Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to be briefly sharing some of my thoughts surrounding the news that broke a couple of days ago regarding The Walking Dead's decision to have a new showrunner come season 9. So let's not waste any time and get straight into it. The news that Scott Gimple has been replaced as The Walking Dead showrunner by long-serving writer Angela Kang has generally been met by a very positive reception all around, and I certainly can understand why. Many fans, including myself, feel like The Walking Dead has suffered quite a big dip in quality since the 6th season of the show, with it being clear that something needed to change. Critical reception has hit an all-time low and the viewing figures aren't much better either. According to The Walking Dead's wiki page, the latest mid-season finale was watched by 7.89 million people in the US. And whilst this might not sound like a terrible figure, when you compare it to the Season 7 premiere, it's crystal clear that a huge amount of viewers have given up with The Walking Dead since the whole Negan arc really kicked off. The numbers speak for themselves, and in the space of just over a year, The Walking Dead has lost almost 10 million viewers in the US alone. Now of course I know that season premieres usually attract a wider audience than the episodes that follow, and there is normally always a drop off in viewers after the first few installments have aired. So I guess you could argue that comparing these two episodes isn't entirely fair. However, when you look at the viewing statistics for all the individual episodes released over the last season and a half, it's clear that The Walking Dead has been losing fans at an alarming rate. And in my mind, Gimple has to shoulder a lot of the blame for the poor pacing and storytelling that we've all been subjected to. With that in mind then, it's easy to assume that the AMC bosses switched showrunners as a reaction to this worrying trend. However, this explanation couldn't be any further from the truth. See, the thing is, Gimple hasn't been sacked at all, instead he's actually been promoted. Comic Book Resources reports that Gimple has taken on a much larger role and will oversee all factors involving the series. This includes The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, as well as gaming and future brand extensions on a variety of platforms amongst other areas. Now surely we can all agree that if you're a chairman of a big TV company and you're not really happy with the direction that your showrunner is taking your beloved program, then you would either give them the boot or offer them a position where they have less influence. AMC, however, have done the complete opposite of this, and have in fact given Scott a job where he now has more power than ever. I mean, really, what good is having a new showrunner if they just have to report to Gimple anyway? All I can gather from this decision is that AMC really don't care about the show's fumbling ratings, and instead seem to be such huge fans of Scott's vision for the franchise that they have happily given him control over everything, including future potential video games and spin-off shows that don't even exist yet. And this is the point that I think a lot of people are completely missing. Most people seem to be aware that Gimple is leaving his position as a showrunner, however it seems like only a minority are now aware that he's actually now going to be in a position to do more damage than ever to the franchise. He's pretty much the boss of everything related to The Walking Dead at this point, and that's a really scary thought. The only silver lining that I can conjure up is that perhaps due to the fact that Scott will now have to oversee such a huge amount of content, due to being responsible for 2 TV shows and any future Walking Dead projects, perhaps he may not have as much time to be directly involved in any of the Walking Dead products as he was previously. Perhaps he will delegate more work to the people below him and not interfere as much as he has done in the past. If Angela Kang can be left to her own devices and have a decent amount of freedom with The Walking Dead, then I do believe there certainly is potential. Now if I'm being honest, I can't really say I know a huge amount about the lady, but from what I've seen on social media sites and news outlets, it does seem like she's a huge hit with a lot of the actors on set, which can only be a good thing. In addition, when you look at the episodes which she is responsible for writing, there's a lot of really good installments to be found in her portfolio. Hopefully she will have enough freedom to let her thoughts be heard next season. In all honesty though, I'm not optimistic that Angela will have the creative freedom to do as she pleases, and I can't help but feel as though I'm desperately clutching at straws here. For me, Gimple has always had a bit of an ego problem which has only got worse as the years have gone on. This can really be seen when he's awkwardly avoiding answering questions thrown at him during interviews, when he feels like he doesn't have to explain any of his decisions. Because how dare anyone question the great genius that is Scott Gimple? Now that he's been given an even more important position in the House of The Walking Dead, his ego is only going to inflate even more. I mean, even with the amount of viewers the show has lost and the awful reviews many of the episodes during the last couple of seasons have been awarded, Gimple hasn't been punished or reprimanded, instead he's been praised. In a sense, AMC are reinforcing his negative behaviour. I mean, for example, if you saw a child was swearing at their parents, you wouldn't expect the parents to reward them for this because they would have no incentive to not keep doing it. So therefore I really cannot fathom why AMC are giving Gimple an even bigger job with an even bigger paycheck, when The Walking Dead is getting increasingly worse. Gimple has no real reason to stop or change what he is doing because the company he works for have given him no reason to do so. AMC are awarding failure, and this is why sadly I can see Gimple's influence on the franchise now being even stronger than ever. He's been given the keys to the mansion, he has now all aspects of The Walking Dead at his disposal, and he probably feels the reason AMC have done this is because they like what he did with the show when he was the showrunner, meaning he will now continue to push his ideas more so than ever. Of course, there's the chance that I'm completely wrong about this, and instead Gimple will just spend his time from now sitting in an office with his feet up, whilst others do as they wish with the franchise. However, even if this is the case and he doesn't interfere as much as he has done in the past, you have to admit this is pretty worrying behaviour on AMC's part. I mean, think about it this way, if one of my colleagues where I work was absolutely terrible at their job, with them always getting in trouble and getting bad feedback from customers, and my manager decided to offer them a better paid job with more responsibilities, I'd completely lose my shit. Obviously, someone in the AMC boardroom must really love Gimple because for me this move doesn't really make any sense. In fact, I'd think I'd rather him just remain a showrunner on The Walking Dead, at least then he can only butcher one program. As things stand now, however, it seems like he has the whole franchise to do as he pleases, and I really don't think that's a good thing. So there you have it, there's some of my thoughts regarding the recent change in showrunner over at Walking Dead HQ. It will be interesting to hear your take on this story, so please let me know your thoughts below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.